Our show is beautiful.
This is the Asia that most of us envision.
But making it can get ugly. Early call times, schlepping gear, arguments, and long drives. But in between are the moments of pure beauty, excitement, and culture. This time, journey through Bhutan and Nepal with our crew and see how we make the show. I'm Art Wolf, and this is the making of Travels to the Edge.
Good one, Art.
You thought so? Okay, good. Grab some lunch. Just like everywhere I've gone in Bhutan, this time we're going behind the scenes in Bhutan and Nepal as we shoot 2 episodes and show you how we make Travels to the Edge. In Bhutan, we'll focus on the culture and natural beauty of this Buddhist kingdom. And in Nepal, we'll get a taste of Asia's wildlife. Along the way, you'll see how our small crew of 4 travels, works, and makes Art Wolf's Travels to the Edge. The team we've got now is great because everybody has a unique skill.
I like it. Okay, so last thing we do is we just turn around. Overall, my job is to guide the content during the course of the shoot so that by the end of the trip, we come away with not only great images, but a story.
Not only is he an excellent cameraman, but he's responsible for making sure we have all the bits that we need, and generally kind of our captain as far as the work in the field. My main role is to shoot what we call the B-roll, which is basically all the visual glue that's used to connect what is being talked about in the show. I'm also shooting a lot of the same subjects that Art's shooting so that we have video footage to match with his photos.
So he goes out and he gets the little vignettes that convey a sense of place. And he gets it in a very artistic way.
My position on the team is a little different than most of the others because everyone else has one significant chore that they're doing. And I have lots of little chores that I do.
John is an assistant to all of us. He helps get lenses, he helps the technology flow, he shoots behind the scenes.
He's Art's assistant first and foremost, but he also does a million other things that are essential to keep the whole thing moving along.
It's the capturing of an image that is the primary drive on anything I do. I love to explore, I love to investigate, but ultimately it's investigating with the purpose of capturing something and bringing it back.
I've known Art's work for many years. You see it in books and posters all over the place. So the chance to go and see how he does things and to get to some of these situations is very exciting.
Your rhinos, tigers, bears, leopards.
One of the great things about working on this series is I've had the chance to work with an excellent photographer, a world-renowned photographer.
Art has definitely set a high standard for the imagery for the show. And it's been a fun challenge for everyone on the crew to kind of keep up and really keep everything up to that standard.
Shooting with a small crew is great. We're quick, we're light, we carry relatively little gear, though sometimes it doesn't look like it. So we're just more mobile, we're nimble.
You can have an idea, talk about it really quickly, and be able to execute that right away.
They get what the show is about, and if anything, they're way ahead of me and encouraging me, and I think it's fantastic. We're basically happy. We got something out of nothing. It was a beautiful moment, great transitions, everybody's happy. We'll fight later.
So far, Travels to the Edge, this team that we have here has gone pretty much everywhere. North America, South America, Africa, Asia, Antarctica. It's really been unbelievable.
The more we travel now, we're going to places that we haven't been before. Up until this point, I've kind of taken the crew back to places that I really thought could deliver the goods. Now we're starting to go off into Mali and Benin and Togo, and that's exciting for me. I love exploring new places.
I think what makes the series very unique is that every episode is in a new location and means that it has its own flavor.
Each place has its own particular beauty and its own particular feeling. And at its best, our show strives to convey the uniqueness and the beauty and the spirit of each of those locations.
I think there's a huge disconnect in our society with the natural world, and a disconnect with how we think of foreign cultures, how we think of the third world, how we think about places that we rarely ever get a chance to see ourselves. So part of the whole idea of the show is to bring that reality to people who don't get a chance to come to see these places.
We're bringing the world back to them. I think it's a very valuable contribution. But beyond the crowded cities of Nepal and India lie precious, what are they?
Remnants.
Remnants. Remnants. Remnants. The most difficult part of the whole show is to deliver the stand-up lines that introduces the show, or the tease, or the close. Those are notorious trouble for me. Where rhinos... Hi.
In search of Asia's most impressive wildlife, and we don't want that pause.
Carl is very encouraging. Carl has a really fine ear for words and for inflections, and he gets it right. But on this trip, we're skipping the big mountains. You get it? We're skipping the big mountains. We're heading south into Royal Chitwan National Park. The great Himalayas rise north into the clouds. And I'm more than willing to do a line 100 times as long as we get it right. I have a lot of patience for doing that. And we usually get it right, and we're getting it now in 15 takes rather than 100 takes, so progress is being made. I'm Art Wolf. This is Travels to the Edge. There's this white stuff.
It's just after 5 a.m. in the morning. We're having breakfast.
Is it after or is
we
it
were
before?
Woken up like 20 minutes ago. No, never mind. Don't listen to what I'm saying. I haven't had my first coffee yet, so nothing makes sense.
This show is really a lot of work. The crew falls into bed at night and falls out of bed in the morning, and then we go.
We're always crunched for time. We have a limited budget. We can only be out in the field for so long. And so every day is essentially some sort of race. It's got to get up by 5 a.m. sometimes to get to the sunrise spot. And then when you're there, you only have maybe 10 minutes or 20 minutes to get the shot in.
Get some coffee in you?
I got coffee in.
The worst parts, I think, are riding in rough plane rides and in SUVs on just terrible roads for hours on end.
Oddly enough, the dog gets a better seat than we do.
I've got friends all the time telling me I've got the best job in the world, that it's so wonderful, that they would love to just come along and carry my bags. And what I say to them is, you know what, you're right. I do have the best job in the world, but, you know, by all means, please come along, carry my bags. That's over 50% of what we do is just hauling, unloading, loading, repacking. That's a lot of what we do. Carl and I are often up talking right until we get to sleep about, all right, how did that go? What do we need? Oh, how's that go? You know, rewriting some of the bits that Art needs to talk about, you know, looking at footage. So it's kind of, it's constant.
People look at what we're doing, and many say, oh, man, that is a dream job. And, you know, I love the job, but it's brutal. The travel is brutal. You know, I've got a wife, I've got 2 kids whom I miss a great deal, and I'm gone a lot.
It's a grind, but it's worth it.